Hello, my knit friends. I am Romy Hill, and this is my second episode of At Romy Studio. And I am so sorry, I've been procrastinating for the longest time. And then I just decided, okay, I'm just going to jump right back in and record my second episode because I have my teaching set up, like it's all set up and everything. And here I am. So I have so much to talk about in this one. I should not have let so much time pass. Anyway, right now we're in the middle of my scrappy knit along, and that's just little projects that are great for gifting and just using up your yarn scraps. And so I have a few projects to show you that are new since the last time and that you can use on my scrappy knit along. So I also wanted to show you behind me over here. I did that shawl. I designed it as part of my special skein knit along, but I never showed you the result of it because I've been trying to figure out if I want to do a second version of it also. This one is the one skein version, and so it's just one skein of fingering weight yarn, and I just can't decide. So I'm thinking about doing kind of a heavier, squishier version of it because it's that time. There's some snow on the ground, and so I want something nice and heavy and soft and squishy around my neck. So that's going to come up soon. And then, okay, so much. Okay, so much has happened. I taught on a cruise, and it was a Rhine River cruise. It was a pretty amazing experience. And I did a pattern for that. It's called Am Rhein, and that means that's German for on the Rhine. So I did some mitts for it for my class, and then I actually did several different versions. So this is the two color version, and I will show you on my hand camera in just a moment so you can see up close what it looks like. And then I have my three color version of the mitts, and there's also a cowl that goes along with it. So this is kind of a special cowl because it has a drawstring. I know I should have woven those in, but I haven't yet. It's got a drawstring, so when you pull this tight, it turns into a hat. So this is the version that's like just a solid color. It's got lots of contrast. And then I also have a different version that's like a fade. So this one, I love this colorway. This is the on their Fluss, I think it's their Fluss colorway from United States of Fiber. And look at how these colors just sort of merge into one another. It's so pretty. So this was like an official cruise colorway that Teresa of United States of Fiber did. And I love it. And I also have my cowl too. So I'm gonna kind of show you a few pictures of this also, what it looks like on as a hat. It's super cool. I really like these because I'm that person who gets like my head gets really hot when I put a hat on, especially if I'm skiing or something like that or hiking. And so I really love these cowls that turn into a hat or a headband or something like that because then I can just sort of like bring it down around my neck or open it up or something. I can kind of make a messy bun hat out of it if I want. So super versatile. And let me just show you what this looks like. So up close, these are the stitches that I have in this. So there's a little bit of lace up at the top here. And there's a whole bunch of different techniques in here. And there's a jogless stripe in here. So here's the first side. So I know you know what I mean. When you're knitting in the round, it's really a spiral. So you always get that little jog because you're knitting in a spiral. So this method that's written into the mitts, allows you to have like zero jog when you join that stripe. And you can see all the way around. It's hard to tell where the stripe joins, right? So we also have some tuck stitches here. So this is really cool. Um, Brioche is actually a tuck stitch as well. So it's that same idea. So you can see on the reverse side here, so none of the floats are actually like floaty. Basically, they've all been tucked in. And so when you put your hand in here, then you don't catch your hand on anything. So I like these a lot. So hopefully you can see that. And let me just go back to my face so you can see up here. I love these mitts, really, they're fingerless mitts. And I have been wearing them so often, and especially um, the last few weeks, the mornings have been really cold, and I haven't had the heat on in my studio because it's upstairs. So I've just kind of been waiting for all the heat to rise so it doesn't get too hot up here. So this is my morning, like my morning mitts, and my polish, of course, goes with this pair. So maybe I should have been showing you these. This pattern is on Ravelry, and then it's also on my own site, designsbyromi.com. And all of the techniques that I used in here, I have little mini tutorials on my YouTube channel. They're in my series of teeny tiny tutorials. So if you see something on there and you're like, what on earth is she talking about? If it's not already a tutorial, I can make it a tutorial if you let me know. Okay, so next up, this is the twist and vote hat. This is a free hat pattern, and it only takes one skein of like 110 yards DK weight yarn. So it's got a little twist here. And I think what I'm going to do, since this is a free pattern, it's for the Warm the Line project, and it's to help keep voters warm while they're waiting in line. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a little video on how to do this hat from start to finish. So take a look for that if you're interested in figuring out what the different techniques I used are in this. So I have a tubular cast on. It's kind of my favorite one, but you can use any type of cast on that you want. And then the rest of it is really super simple. It's just got these two little spirals, and then up at the top, the decreases make a spiral as well. It's much easier than it even looks, and I think it looks pretty easy. So it's a fun hat, and again, it's free, and it's for the Warm the Line project, and I'll put the link to that project in my notes. Okay, so last time I think I was talking a little bit about my foot bag pattern. So it did come out. This is footsie. So last time I only had one, but then I added like three other different designs as well. They're super colorful and just really fun, fun to play with. They're knitted at a pretty tight gauge, and they're all out of sock yarn. So let me show you those up close. So this is footsie. I'm just going to kind of back off a little bit here. So I love these. They're really colorful. They start with a provisional cast on, and you'll be able to find that provisional cast on in my teeny tiny tutorials. So you do the color work and then bind off on the top. And then when you pick up and go the other way, you do the second side exactly the same as you did the first side. So they look identical. And that's one pattern. Then we have this one. So these are really fun. They go pretty quickly, and I just stuffed them with plastic tumbling media for rock tumblers, but you can also get little plastic pellets that you can stuff beanbag toys with, and those work as well. So these are all the patterns, and this is part of my Acts of Kindness ebook. So let's go back to me. Okay, so speaking of my Acts of Kindness ebook, I have other things to show you as well. So these are called snuggle slips, and they're just cute little slippers. They start at the toe with a figure 8 cast on, and I have a tutorial for that in my teeny tiny tutorials. Um, so they start at the toe, and then you're just going to work up from the toe, and they're increased in here just within the patterning on either side here of the cables. And they come in 3 sizes. So you're going to work it all the way up to this point here, and then there's a little Estonian or Vickel braid that goes all the way around. So you can see the braid up here goes all the way around and under here. So once that's done, the heel is reinforced in kind of a designy way. So I added a second color in here, and so there's a little foot opening or ankle opening kind of left right here. And then this is the heel. So you're going to do stranded knitting up from the braid. And then you can do either a 3-needle bind off or at the heel, or you can just graft that together. So they're super fun. I really love this kind of style because they just look kind of flat and unassuming, but when you put your foot in, like your foot makes them sort of form to your arch so that the heel kind of stretches back a little and they hug your arch. So I love this style. It's kind of a traditional style. I definitely didn't make it up. Okay, and I'm knitting a bigger one here for my son. So I have one done. Had to make the heel kind of brighter. So, and then I'm I'm I did actually start the second one too, even though I'm really bad. I'm really bad about that. So I do one sock or one mitt or something like that, and then I just sort of put it aside and forget about it. So I'm really proud I started this. Okay, so let me show you kind of up close here what these look like. So this is what the cable pattern looks like up close. They're really snuggly, comfy, right around here where the stitches are picked up. That's an I-cord bind off, and you can find that also in my teeny tiny tutorials. And then this is what it looks like on the inside with all of your floats. So the heel is the place that has the most wear. Like these are definitely lounging socks. And the heel is the place that has the most wear. So I did add a little reinforcement in here. And that's what it looks like up close. Okay. Just working through stuff bit by bit here. The other thing I wanted to show you is my autonomy cowl. So this is some super simple cowl, and I've seen a lot of people actually wear it as a kerchief as well over their heads. So that's what it's looked like. And this is for bodily autonomy. So it's supporting the abortion rights networks. It's kind of modeled after a lot of the green that you've seen in protests around. And so you've seen probably lots of green handkerchiefs around people's necks as they're protesting. So it's modeled on that, and part of the pattern purchased goes towards funding abortion rights networks and providing healthcare to women. So you can find that pattern also on Ravelry or on my own designsbyromi.com site. Which reminds me, I didn't specify, these are also in my Acts of Kindness ebook. So Snuggle Slips. And also a single pattern. Okay, so what's coming next? Alrighty then. So next up in my Acts of Kindness ebook are these little dishes here. They're just little felted dishes. And I kind of went through my collection of colorful buttons. You can see inside here, these are all hand felted. So they're hand felted and then they have little buttons sewn on. And there are 3 sizes. So that's what they look like inside. And that's going to be the next pattern out in my Acts of Kindness ebook. And there's one more, and I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who has been with me during this year. It's been a year. So this is I almost have all my patterns in here, and hopefully you love them all as much as I do. Okay, so I have kind of a cool bunch of yarn here. I mean, what bunch of yarn isn't cool, right? But so this is it's a new yarn company that a verb for keeping warm has formed. And if you know me, you know that I love their yarn. And for a long time, we've shared a booth at Stitches, although we haven't for like the past couple of weird years. And this is called Bread and Butter. Their yarn company is called Bread and Butter. And it's this lovely, squishy, wonderful yarn. This is a bulky weight. This yarn is called Bun, and I'm going to be actually sort of teaching my son to knit with this. So my idea is, I'm going to do like some learn to knit videos, and then he's going to learn to knit from my videos, and he likes critiquing everything. So he's going to kind of let me know how he's doing with the videos, and then we're going to talk about his process of learning to knit because he hasn't knit for a really long time, and he would like to make himself a hat, which I think is very cool. So we're going to be using this yarn, and I am again going to show you here what this looks like. It's really squishy and wonderful. So you can see it's just really lovely, fluffy yarn. It's dyed in the wool, so you can see all of those different colors in there. So pretty. I love it. And of course, my favorite color. They have my favorite color too. This is my favorite color. This is called Baby Frog. So, okay, so some of you know that I'm a continental knitter, and I have been doing a lot of little tutorials and reels and stuff like that on Instagram showing my knitting style. And someone asked me about the way that I purl. So I purl kind of like a continental purl. It's a lever purl. And I'm just going to show you what that looks like. So here's my swatch here. So my continental purl, I just come in front and I kind of lever my yarn down with my finger. So this is as opposed to like the Norwegian purl, which is a totally different process. This is the continental purl. So what I'm doing is just I'm holding it like I normally would hold my yarn. And then it's in front here. I come under. So the yarn always goes over the top of my needle so that my stitch is mounted with the right leg in front and the left leg in back. And this is how I purl. So I can get going fairly fast with it. It's harder to do it when I'm watching myself on the camera doing this, but I find it a lot easier to use than the Norwegian purl. So for those who don't know, the Norwegian purl, if I can remember how to do it, because I can barely ever remember how to do it. This is the Norwegian purl. So there's just a lot of movements in there. Oops. There's a lot of movements in there, and for me, it can sort of loosen up my purl. So I just do the lever, and who knows? I'll probably work a little bit harder on the Norwegian purl, and maybe I'll get better at it. And at that point, I will do it better. I don't know. Maybe it'll be faster and better. So I showed you before a sweater that I was working on, and I'm kind of stuck on Slave Island at the moment, like doing a whole bunch of other things, like trying to get everything caught up. But I did make a lot of progress. So so far, this is what it looks like. And I'm pretty happy with it so far. I've been trying it on, and those pins are marking my short rows in the yoke here to just to sort of bring that down a little bit and not choke myself. So my favorite part here is the shoulder. So you can see the shoulder here. It goes into that pattern that goes down the sleeve. So you're looking at the sleeve right now. It's just disorienting because I have my camera set. It's not a mirror setting, so it's a little disorienting every time I try to show you something. So here's my sleeve, and I'm just kind of working my way down from the top. I'm pretty happy with it. So kind of geeking out on this little top part here where the ribbing goes straight into that sleeve pattern. So, and I already bound off the bottom. So I have my twisted rib on the bottom here, and I did a sewn tubular bind off. And yes, I love this tubular bind off, and I think it looks so nice. Let me show you what that looks like. So this is what that bind off looks like. So you can see it has that really nice folded edge to it. And I love the way it looks. So it is a little bit more fiddly, I guess. But once you get used to doing it, it's so cool. And so here's that little sleeve detail for you up at the top here where the kind of, I guess you could call it a yoke, where the yoke goes down into the sleeve here. So it has a yoke, and then it has raglan shaping down from the yoke. And kind of, like as I said, kind of geeking out on this little detail up at the top here. So I can't wait to have a sweater to wear, but I have a lot of stuff that I have to do before I can finish it. So I've just been working like a little bit at a time on it. So let's see what's coming up. After those little dishes, I have one more project for my Acts of Kindness ebook, and that's going to be a headband. And I really like them. I think they're like super handy and super quick for gift knitting. So I think it's like perfect just to go in that book. Um, my knit along is still ongoing. It's called the Scrappy Knit Along, and it's in my Ravelry group, but also I'm doing weekly Zooms. So if you want to hang out with us, join my newsletter, and you'll get a link for signing up for the Zoom every week. And then also there's more stuff in my newsletter. Like there's going to be a shawl pin sale, so you'll see that first of all. Um, so yeah. And one more thing, soon are my Lace Club signups. So those of you, like a bunch of people have asked me this year about my Lace Lovers Club, and that is going to go up soon for signups. So if you sign up for my newsletter, um, you will know first of all, like you'll be the first to know when those signups are. So, okay. So I did it. So I actually got another video out there and I'm thinking about actually doing these live from now on. So let me know if that sounds appealing to you. If they're live, I'm like way more likely to come on here so I can interact with people because I love seeing you in the chat and just kind of hanging out a little bit more than this. So if that's something that might appeal to you, let me know. And then also I'm keeping up with the teeny tiny tutorials, and then I'm doing a few little mini classes to put up on my YouTube channel. So if there's something that you would like to see, let me know, and I will do that and put it up there for you. If you subscribe and turn on your notifications, you'll find out when it's up there. So take care, everybody. Um, have a fantastic week. Happy holidays. And I will be back much sooner than I was this time. So take care, everybody. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.